Please take your seats quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Hi guys, and welcome to 1minutetennis.com. In today's session, I want to talk to you about what I call the 4 fundamentals of tennis. And that's the 4 things that are even more important than the strokes. Because with the 4 fundamentals, you can have bad strokes but still have good results. And without them, you can have beautiful, pretty strokes, but you'll make a lot of mistakes and won't get good results. Now, tennis is a very old sport. It's easy to forget just how old it is. But a good example of this is the Grand Slam tournaments. If you look at the schedule, it's insane. You have January for the Australian Open, and then a 4 or 5 month wait, and then a 2-week wait, then 2 months for September, and then back to 3 months wait for Australia. Why? And the answer is really simple. Tennis players were international celebrities on the front pages of newspapers all over the world before there were aeroplanes. And so they had to travel by boat. Australia to Paris, Paris to London, London to New York, and then New York back to Australia. Now this gives us a great idea and understanding of how old the game is. And using a fantastic website like this, YouTube, you can actually look at the history of the game for a long time. For 80 or 90 years, you can see the different strokes. And the strokes have changed enormously. But there are 4 things that every great player through the history of the game does. Those 4 fundamentals are the most important things to apply to your game. The first thing is that every great player that's ever played this game, they all watch the ball with great intensity. Now, it's not good enough to just watch the ball. You have to watch the ball with real focus. You might think to yourself, well, surely I'm either watching the ball or I'm not. But imagine these 2 situations. You're reading a book. It's fascinating. And then somebody speaks to you and you don't hear them speak. Or you're reading a book, you're tired, it's boring, and suddenly you realize you're just looking at the page. But in both situations, you're watching the book. One of them is useless. So you have to watch the ball with real intensity. The second thing is that all the great players in the world move really well. It's really important that we stay on our toes, that we move and we play with balance. Without balance and without movement, this game is going to be very, very difficult. The third fundamental of every great player that's ever played this game is that they all hit the ball between waist and shoulder height. This is where we're strong. You see, if you were going to push a piece of furniture, you wouldn't go down here and push. If you were going to push a car or a lorry, you wouldn't put your hands up here and push. You would be here. This is where we have a stable alignment of the human body and we're strong. So hit the ball between waist and shoulder height, the third fundamental. And the fourth fundamental is that the player begins the take back of the racket before the ball bounces on their side of the net. Now, it doesn't mean that they're all the way taking the racket back to here, but the actual turn of the body in recognition as to whether it's a forehand or a backhand occurs long before you start the stroke and actually swing at the ball. So before the ball bounces, we want to make the unit turn and the take back of the racket. And I'm sure you've met somebody who has the 4 fundamentals but has bad strokes, and nobody likes playing them. They are ungainly, they have bad technique, often bad grips, and they never miss. The 4 fundamentals are the difference between consistency and inconsistency for a lot of players. The technique's essential, the technique's important, but that's the difference between power and spin and quality. But for real control and consistency, you have to have the 4 fundamentals. Check them out in your game, see if they apply to you, and if they don't, look for these as your solutions before you start to look for the strokes for answers to why your game is not as consistent or powerful as you'd like it to be. I hope this makes sense. I'd love to know how it works in your game. And if you like my ideas, check out our books on Amazon. In the books, we give a detailed scientific analysis of the stroke, and then we provide super simple illustrations and super simple suggestions on how you can really improve and really take your game to the next level. For more personalized advice, have a look at what we're doing with online coaching. I'm helping players in over 30 countries all over the world with a unique blend of video analysis and then one-to-one personalized training. It really is a different service. For more information, email me or have a look at the website. So think about the history of the game. In the 130 or 140 years of tennis, every great player has had the 4 fundamentals of tennis. Apply them to your game and you'll play better tennis today. Thanks for watching. See you next time for more unique tennis lessons that really work.